Life is often shaped by what-if moments. What if you had chosen a different career? What if you had studied abroad instead of staying home? Small decisions can change individual lives, but when those decisions are made by world leaders, they can reshape the world, and sometimes with dangerous consequences. Tonight, we're examining two such moments. We know about them because the United States declassified a set of documents this week. These documents reveal private conversations between former U.S. President George W. Bush and Russian President Vladimir Putin held between 2001 and 2005. Let's begin with their first major meeting. On June 16, 2001, Bush and Putin met in Slovenia. They discussed several global security issues, including Pakistan. During that conversation, Putin made a striking assessment. He warned Bush that Pakistan was, in his words, a hunter with nuclear weapons. He pointed out that Pakistan was not a democracy and questioned why the West refused to criticize it. Looking back from 2025, that assessment appears disturbingly accurate. Pakistan remains a nuclear-armed state with a long record of instability, military dominance over civilian rule, and global security concerns. Putin urged Bush to speak openly against Islamabad. Bush replied that he would be willing to do so. That criticism never came. Just months later, Al-Qaeda carried out the September 11th attacks. The United States launched the war on terror, with Afghanistan as its first target. And Pakistan became Washington's most important regional ally. At the time, Pakistan was ruled by military dictator Pervez Musharraf. Bush and Musharraf developed a close relationship. The U.S. needed Pakistan's logistical and intelligence support in Afghanistan. Musharraf, in turn, needed American money and political backing to remain in power. As a result, Pakistan received billions of dollars in U.S. military aid. In return, Washington overlooked almost everything: the absence of democracy, human rights abuses, and even nuclear proliferation. And it wasn't because the Bush administration didn't know. Another declassified transcript from 2005 reveals a White House conversation where Putin warned Bush again, this time about Pakistan's nuclear black market. Putin explained that Pakistani nuclear scientist A.Q. Khan had transferred nuclear technology to Iran and North Korea. He pointed out that uranium found in Iranian centrifuges was of Pakistani origin. Putin said plainly, "That makes me nervous." Bush agreed. He said it made the United States nervous too. But nothing followed. No sanctions, no serious pressure, no public condemnation. Despite clear knowledge of Pakistan's role in nuclear proliferation, the Bush administration chose inaction. And this brings us to the central question. What if George W. Bush had listened to that warning in 2001? What if the U.S. had refused to turn Pakistan into a necessary ally? What if Washington had not poured military aid into a regime that was spreading nuclear technology? The world might look very different today, but history cannot be changed, only learned from. Unfortunately, the lesson still hasn't been learned. Last month, President Donald Trump announced the restart of U.S. nuclear testing after a 30-year pause. When asked why, he cited secret nuclear testing by other countries, including Pakistan. That statement drew immediate attention from India. India's government responded by pointing out that Pakistan's nuclear behavior fits a long-established pattern. Decades of smuggling, export control violations, secret partnerships, and the A.Q. Khan proliferation network. In short, nothing about this was new. And yet, once again, the United States chose not to act. For George W. Bush, the excuse was Afghanistan. For Donald Trump, it appears to be minerals, deals, and personal business interests. The newly declassified documents confirm what many already suspected. Pakistan's dangerous activities were well known, and America repeatedly chose strategic convenience over global security. That is the real story behind the documents, not just Pakistan's actions, but Washington's hypocrisy.